operational excellence.
Caselli has heard from the community at 9 different MPS schools over the past couple of months. MPS schools get back in session on September 2nd. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Hurricane Erin is bringing dangerous rip currents and high waves to beaches along the East Coast this week, and beaches are starting to close in New York City. CBS News correspondent Matt Piper has more.
New York City's mayor says swimming at all city beaches will be prohibited Wednesday and Thursday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says even though Erin is forecast to stay offshore by hundreds of miles,
I would just say to you flat out, don't go in the water.
This group of teens is visiting the Jersey Shore from Pennsylvania.
Kind of disappointed, but
yeah, a little chilly too.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly outside.
We went in, but we kind of got yelled at. Ankle deep, you can't go swimming.
Officials say waves in the area could reach 11 feet. Matt Piper, CBS News, New York.
And Air Canada will resume service this evening after the tentative settlement of its flight attendant strike. News Nation's Nick Smith reports.
The deal should end a lockout that began Saturday and has already forced the cancellation of flights for more than 500,000 travelers. On Monday, a labor board in Canada declared the strike illegal and ordered the flight attendants back to work, which they defied. The union says Air Canada is agreeing to pay flight attendants for the work they do in the air and on the ground, which was a key sticking point.
Air Canada says it may take up to 10 days to restore full service. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
This is Al Feckler at Cannon & Dunphy. Call me old school, but I have such great memories of growing up in Milwaukee, going to ball games at County Stadium, cruising on Highway 100, even seeing Cannon & Dunphy commercials as a kid. That's because for over 40 years, Cannon & Dunphy has been leveling the playing field against big corporations and insurance companies so people like you, people I grew up with in Milwaukee, could get the justice they deserve. I guess I like to call that old school justice. If you're injured, call the team at Cannon & Dunphy.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like 10% off Hillman hardware. Centric brake parts, rotors, shoes, and drums, also 10% off. And save 15% on assorted Crawford garage storage hooks. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers dropping game one of their doubleheader today against the Cubs 6-4, but the Crew will try to bounce back in game two. We've got Brewers warm-up coverage on the way, and then network coverage of game two starting at 6:30 right here on WTMJ. Let's take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A few incidents to report and a few backups out there. I-41 northbound right at the ramp from Watertown Plank Road. The left shoulder is blocked. That's due to a crash. And then I-94 westbound at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard. The right shoulder blocked there. That's due to a disabled vehicle. And then some backups as well, both I-43 northbound and southbound. That's between Keefe and Clybourne. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Will be mostly cloudy tonight. We could see a slight chance for a few showers, a low of 65. Wednesday, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 77. Will be mostly sunny Thursday with highs in the upper 70s. Friday, partly cloudy. We could see some shower chances late Friday night, a high of 81. And then Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 77. In Sheboygan, it's 71 degrees, 77 right now in Madison, and 73 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
This is Brewers Warmup with Dominic Cotroneo. Your lineups, manager insights, and a preview of tonight's game right now. This is Brewers Warmup. Here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All right, no rain tonight. Getting ready to go for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Brewers and Cubs from the friendly confines at Wrigley Field. I'm Dom Cotroneo. So the Brewers, they dropped the opener of this doubleheader today, but they send Brandon Woodruff out to the mound today for the Crew. They are undefeated when Big Woo takes the mound this season, going up against recently activated Jamison Tyone off the injured list. He will go counter a pair of righties today in this nightcap. Game 1 went by the way of the Cubs, 6-4. The big swing, though, a Willie Castro 3-run homer off of Chad Patrick. But the Brewers, they pecked away, and the Brewers, they fought back. They got singular tallies for a couple of frames in the 4th and the 5th. They added 2 more in the 6th and had opportunities late but could not cash in as William Contreras bounced into an inning-ending, game-ending 5-4-3 double play. The Brewers on Game 1, they went 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, and yes, to the blind eye, that's a 300 batting average, but there were some opportunities in this one. But yet, Pat Murphy's still very happy about, as we affectionately know he calls his team, the Woodpeckers, of just the way that despite being down 5-0 early with a rookie on the mound, they found a way to stay in it.
And we got Boyd out of there. Boyd's one of the, he's 10-0 in Wrigley. He's pretty good. We pecked away and got him out of there, and we didn't get the big hit at the big time, but we got a lot of big hits, but we didn't. I'm proud of our guys. We got back in the game. We're down 5-0. Sure enough, here we come. So credit the Cubs for holding us off.
One of the big moments, though, was in the second inning when you talk about getting the big hit in Game 1, where the Brewers loaded the bases with some good fortune going their way. It all started with a 1-out walk to Andrew Vaughn on 4 pitches. Isaac Collins works it from 0-2 to 3-2. He draws a walk. But then Terang would ground out on the first pitch. Lockridge with 2 outs. A 10-pitch battle to load the bases with another walk of his own. But Joey Ortiz would pop out. And at the end of the day, it was 32 pitches for Matthew Boyd in that second inning. He wouldn't really have another stressful inning the rest of his day. But yet the Brewers saw that as a chance for them to really break through.
We had a couple poor at-bats in there. First pitch rollover and a jam shot pop up to first. That hurt us in that inning. If you're going to peck away, everybody's got to do their part. You can make outs, but that happens. I mean, these guys. I'm proud of our guys.
Then a mix of good and bad from Chad Patrick today. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. 3 were earned, and that was key in the first inning. The 2 unearned runs that scored on an E3 throwing error by Andrew Vaughn. It was a chopper to first. It was an opportunity for Chad Patrick to get out of the inning, but Vaughn missed his target with Chad running over to cover first base. It gets away. The next batter, 2-run single in the right field by Owen Casey, and the Cubs never trailed the rest of the contest. So 2 unearned runs scoring there, but nonetheless, Chad had 2 walks, both of them to Seiya Suzuki pitching around him, but still plenty of positives to pull from this one, his manager's assessment of Chad Patrick's return to the big leagues.
He wasn't hitting the spots necessarily, but he still should have been out of the inning. We didn't make the play at first base, which is unusual. Vaughn's been so great defensively, and that cost us 2 runs. But Chad wasn't great, but he did give us some big outs, and he gave us 5 innings, and I think he'd be the first to say he wasn't sharp today with his command. Made a bad pitch to Castro with 2 men on, but credit the Cubs. They did a great job, came back and got a lead.
The Cubs gave the Brewers a little bit of taste of their own medicine, of course, scoring 2 unearned runs. They put the ball in play with runners in scoring position, going 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And their bullpen locked things down. Brad Keller, Caleb Thielbar, Drew Pomeranz, Danny Palencia all did not allow their own runs to score. So the Cubs take the first one of this doubleheader. Game 2 coming up at 7:05 here on WTMJ. We want to thank our presenting sponsor of all of our coverage here at Wrigley Field, Cannon & Dunphy and Big Fish Contracting, for what they've been able to do for us to bring us down here and present you this behind enemy lines coverage here from Wrigley Field. And up next, we have our interview with Pat Dunphy of Cannon & Dunphy, and a huge baseball fan, somebody that loves the game. And if you listened to yesterday's Rain Out, you heard it. But hey, because we're playing ball today, we want to make sure we give Pat his love. And he's a big Brewer fan as well, just like you. And Also made a bold World Series prediction. You'll hear from Pat Dunphy on the other side of the break here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
It was always said about Milwaukee Brewer legend Jim Gantner that he played the game the right way.
God gave me the talent to play baseball, but it's up to me what I want to do with it.
It's just such an exciting partnership for us at Big Fish Contracting. I'm thinking there's a chance if you sign up with us, Jim Gantner may be dropping off a tube of caulk at your house.
Shingles, whatever.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
When traveling at 20 miles per hour, the average stopping distance is about 40 feet.
That stopping power is calculated in both thinking and braking distance.
And assuming you've got the thinking and braking part down, the only thing left is good tires.
Just Google Richlands to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 convenient locations.
And rest assured, we'll put you in the right tire no matter what sort of vehicle you drive.
Plus, every tire purchase that we install automatically comes with our free flat tire protection plan.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to install your tires.
So Google Richlands
or go to richlands.com.
And remember to be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for tire service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Now, more of Brewers Warm-Up on WTMJ.
Welcome back from Wrigley Field. The Brewers and the Cubs opening up a massive 5-game set here with the doubleheader today and now getting ready for the rest of the series. We're pleased to welcome in Pat Dunphy of Cannon & Dunphy, our presenting sponsor of all of our coverage this week. So we thank Pat and the team over at Cannon & Dunphy for their partnership all year long. You hear us here on Brewers content on WTMJ. Pat, before we get into the partnership, I mean, how fun is this? The best team in baseball, you being a partner of ours and being able to be a baseball fan, and the team that you love rooting for is right here in Milwaukee is the best one in the land.
Well, how lucky can you be, right? To be a baseball fan, to be in Milwaukee, to see year after year after year how the Milwaukee people are always turning out for the Brewers, and to see an organization that is just so good year after year. We don't have an Ohtani, and we don't have some of the other big names like Judge and so forth. But doggone it, we can play with anybody and we can beat anybody, and we've shown that year after year. And this year, right now, man, nobody can touch us. What? We swept the Dodgers.
I mean,
wasn't it? I mean, 6. I mean, we're this is not a paper tiger that's playing here at the stadium. That's for sure.
That's what I remind folks all the time, right? When people want to say, "Oh, maybe they beat up on the Pirates like they did last week," and you're thinking, "Oh, they didn't play anybody." Well, the Brewers have the best record against teams above 500. They have the best record in one-run games. They have all these superlatives that help them out to be the great team that they are. And, we can look back to, a series against, I know you're fond of the Red Sox, and that series, that Memorial Day week seemed to be the time it turned against those Sox. And my goodness, what a story it's been.
Yeah, it really has been. And I bet the Red Sox wish they still had Priester.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got him. And they're probably wishing that they got Frelick out of Boston College. Try to keep him home in Boston, but now lucky we are that we got him. Yeah, but wouldn't it be fun if it were the Red Sox and the Brewers in the World Series? I'd love that.
Wow, that would be really fun. I would love to do a little, Green Monster tour and that sort of thing with everything with, Sal would love that too. He might not be playing for any money. He'll be playing for free that week, given all the tickets.
I was going to say, do you know how many people that would become his new best friends for tickets?
The entire town of Lexington would be in like section 205 or whatever down there. Pat, when we talk about partnerships and, people that we love to work with here at WTMJ and Good Karma Brands. I mean, you guys are at the top of the list of what Cannon & Dunphy does, not only for us, but for all of your clients, and just being able to share that personal connection as a personal injury attorney and everything that goes into, what are difficult times, and how proud are you of what you and your team there at Cannon & Dunphy are able to do for your potential clients?
I'm extremely proud of it. First of all, it's nice to be able to help people that really need some help and deserve some help and don't have the ability to help themselves. I mean, that's a great way to live your life, taking care of other people and being able to produce for them and make their lives a little less difficult than it was before they met you and gave you the opportunity to help them out. I mean, come on, what's better than that? Putting a smile on somebody's face and putting some money in their pocket so they can take care of medical bills and lost wages, things like that. I mean, it's an honor to serve people like that. I've been doing it for 50 years, 40 years of Cannon & Dunphy. I look back on it and say, what a great way to spend your work life.
And you've spent so much time in this Milwaukee market too, and you've seen, so much change in this city. You've seen some great teams, you've seen some bad teams, and this team's been fun to watch. And I think, you can kind of have a pulse on the city as well of how much fun this is to be connected to the Brewers.
Oh yeah, it's exciting. And you know what? The thing about Milwaukee people, Milwaukee citizens, everybody around the Brewers, they can come in year after year and they're rooting year after year, even when the Brewers aren't necessarily doing what everybody hopes they can do. But, they still come to the stadium and they still root for them and cheer for them. And those are the kind of people that make Milwaukee a great city.
This is super fun. Again, we're chatting with Pat Dunphy of our presenting sponsor, Cannon & Dunphy, here, getting ready for Brewers and Cubs Game 2 here at Wrigley. And, Pat, we talk about all of this with injury lawyers, and you guys are somebody that I think of where it's, maybe it's not the loudest advertisements, maybe it's not the in-your-face stuff, but at the same time, you're still delivering a quality product for all of your clients, and your sales pitch to somebody that says, well, maybe I don't see your name on a billboard, but there's a reason for that, right?
You bet there is. My father was a lawyer. Obviously, I've been a lawyer now for 50 years, and I think there's a certain professionalism that is really important to me and really important to the firm Cannon & Dunphy. Everybody in it's dedicated to being a professional. I'm confident in saying that it's not about me. It's not about we. It's about the people we represent. And I don't believe in T-shirts. I don't believe in billboards. I don't believe in ads on the side of buses, because I do think that sends a message that I don't particularly care for. All right. I want to be able to present the idea to people that we're true professionals. We've been true professionals for 40 plus years. And that we care about our clients and we take care of our clients, and that's all that matters. So I'm very proud of the way that we present ourselves, because that's who we are.
We really think of you guys when we think of Brewers partnerships. We love working with you. And then, for folks, so these are, when they have to call you, they're going through a difficult time, but you make it clear that they're there to help. And this is something that a process that you guys are the pros to help with personal injury and many other landscapes that maybe your clients don't know about.
Yeah. Again, we've been delivering that kind of service with that kind of attitude and that kind of professionalism for a long time. And I like to think that that means that we've lived up to the obligation imposed upon us by having a law degree and dedicated to taking care of people that need our help.
Well, we thank you for your partnership for this coverage, for us to be down here at Wrigley Field and getting ready to bring as many wins back home up north as possible and try to march our way into October. And I know you'll be locked in on every single pitch. Appreciate the time, Pat.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate Good Karma and the opportunity to have to root together for a great team in a great place that's doing a great job, as is Good Karma. So great to see you again, Dom.
A pleasure as always. Pat Dunphy of Cannon & Dunphy. Think of them anytime you're in that tough bind of personal injury lawyers. They will take care of you. So we'll take a quick breather. Again, thank them for our partnership. Back after this from Wrigley, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot.
The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
I'm Pat Dunphy of Cannon and Dunphy. You know, every team's goals at the start of the Major League Baseball season are to get to the World Series. But only the best teams achieve those goals. They do it with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. Like a Major League Baseball team, Cannon and Dunphy's law firm has its goals. That's to win for its clients. And we've been doing it for 40 years with a combination of talent, experience, and a dedication to winning. So if you're hurt in an accident and you need help, call Cannon and Dunphy.
Back to Brewers Warmup on WTMJ.
Welcome in here to the press box at Wrigley Field. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Last couple minutes of the show here as we get ready for the On Deck Show. Built by Menards coming up right after this. Lane Grindle stopping by to say hello on the YouTube stream. Got good ratio of vegetables and onion rings and meat, and you're good. Yeah, I think we've had enough cookies today as well over here. But Lefty Lane going down and getting ready to go for the On Deck Show. Andrew Monasterio on the On Deck Show. We want to look forward to hearing that as well. Now, yesterday, the Brewers get the win. They win 7-0. It was a fun day at the ballpark. And I thought, talking to Caleb Durbin, talking to Bryce Terang about their offense, obviously they both hit solo homers, but one of the big stories of the game was yet another 4-run inning for the Crew. And Caleb Durbin maybe delivered one of the quotes of the year and how this team feels whenever they start to get the wheels turning and scoring a bunch of runs.
It feels like we're sharks out there, like we smell blood, so once we get runners on and start scraping those first couple runs across, we want that big inning because that can almost end the game. That puts a lot of pressure on the other team, puts a lot of pressure on their lineup to score runs, and on the flip side, when we're giving up runs, we don't panic, so it's definitely you'd think you'd kind of feel that pressure too, but we don't, and we just really like applying it.
So the guys in the clubhouse call themselves sharks, but Murph calls them woodpeckers. Something's got to give there, somewhere in the middle there. But one of the big moments of yesterday, one of the things that we've seen here in the month of August is Bryce Terang hitting homers. Backside, in opposite field, if you will. His 7th of the month, his 13th of the season. Him and William Contreras have the same number of homers, which I don't think anybody expected, and same with Bryce in his own words.
Going on year 3, you just kind of learn that stuff. I'm getting older as a guy too, so the strength is getting there. I don't know, I don't try to do too much. I'm not trying to hit homers. I'm not trying to get more power. I'm just swinging at good pitches to swing at and trying to hit it hard.
And he's certainly hitting it hard because in Game 2 of the series, Game 1 today, he had a couple balls over 106. I mean, he is absolutely scalding baseballs right now, not just a slap hitter, and even balls that he wants to go to the other way, he can hit with pop. Like, I think of that grand slam he hit in San Diego last season when the Brewers were down by 5, but all of a sudden made the Padres sweat for a little bit. That's a swing that I think of that Bryce has got sneaky juice that I think a lot of people don't realize he's always had all along the way. But Bryce also added in that, obviously yesterday they win 7-0. They lose the first one today by a 6-4 score, but they are on a roll. They have won, 15 of their last 17 games, which is a wild sentence to say out loud. And with the quality of play the Brewers are doing right now, it just feels like it can keep going on forever.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be the most fun baseball I've played, just going out with these guys every night and competing with them. And things are really well in the locker room. The guys are great, great dudes, and they're competitors. They want to win, and, it's been a blast.
So the Brewers will try to split this doubleheader take the advantage 2-1 in this 5-game series. And a broadcasting note as well, we're back to normal tomorrow. We don't have any rain in the forecast tonight. So we will be on the air, same time, same place, 6 o'clock here for Brewers Warmup. The On Deck Show coming up at the bottom of the hour for a 7:05 first pitch tomorrow, Wednesday night. And then we will be back to the day game schedule on Thursday, a 1:20 first pitch. So odd start time, but nonetheless, we will be on the air at 12:45. So the Brewers getting ready to go with Brandon Woodruff out on the mound for the Crew. With the Brewers in their rare doubleheader setup, they also have William Contreras catching Chad Patrick in Game 1. So thus, here in Game 2, we see Danny Jansen get into the order with Jameson Taillon on the mound on the other side, a right-hander. And again, on the Cubs, we didn't get really a chance to talk about it much, but once again, no Kyle Tucker. Yesterday, Craig Counsell said that he's going to give his star outfielder a little bit of a reset, as of course he went 0 in the opener of this series. He did not play Game 1. He's not playing Game 2 either. So, the Brewers and the Cubs will get ready to go here in just a little bit. Under the lights, should be a lovely evening for baseball as Wrigley Field starts to fill up, and we will have a great night to bring it all for you here on WTMJ. Our producer is Matt Yazel. I'm Dom Cotroneo. The On Deck Show coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over 300